Hi, my name's Brian and I'm an estate planner. I want to introduce you to a couple called the Smiths. The Smiths knew that someone had entered a nursing home and their relatives had to sell a house in order to pay the nursing home fees. This obviously upset the Smiths. When it came round to the Smiths for them to investigate a nursing home, they got the shock of their lives. Let me run a couple of things past you. When they went into the nursing home for the first time, the first thing that they were asked was, could they come to the office to do a means test? During the means test, they were asked, did they know that their ability to pay the nursing home fees would be taken into consideration? And of course the Smiths said. Then they were asked, did they know that the government paid part of the nursing home fees and that the relatives or the person that was in the nursing home had to pay the balance? The Smiths replied. They then were asked, did they realise that the amount of money that they would be required to pay would be in the region of £200 to £250 per week? And the Smiths replied. The nursing home said that it was because the cost that the nursing home charged was much more than the government gave them, so the balance had to be paid for by the relatives or the patient themselves. When they heard this, their immediate reaction was to say, now of course this was repeated to them, the nursing home has to be paid and either the relatives or the patient has to pay. So the first thing that they were asked was, does the person that you're putting in the nursing home have any money in the bank or the building society in the form of savings? And of course they replied, yes, they had about £1,000. And the nursing home said that was very good, that would amount to about one month in the nursing home. The reply to that, of course, was shock and horror. The Smiths didn't think that was very fair. The nursing home said that the house didn't have to be sold, that they just had to ask a few questions first and they could defer the payment. The first thing they asked was, do you have any life or critical illness policies over and above the amount that you have got saved, that £1,000? And like most people, the Smiths replied that they did have life cover, but it was only for the mortgage, and when the mortgage was finished, so was the life cover. So they actually couldn't have any life cover to put in place for the relative. Well, the nursing home had to reply, well, you haven't got very much money in the bank and you haven't got any life policies or critical illness policies, so we will have to look to the house and see if the house has enough equity in it, now that you've paid the mortgage off, to see if you can pay the fees. Mrs. Smith replied, she was beginning to get very angry. She couldn't see why she had to pay for the nursing home fees out of the sale of the house, not when she said that a will was present. Now, of course, the will that was written was a standard will, and it left everything to the spouse and then to the children. The person in the nursing home did not respond very favourably and said that the nursing home had to be paid first, along with the funeral directors, the Inland Revenue, the local authority, the banks if there was an overdraft, the credit card companies if there was credit card bills, or loan companies, All of these people, all of these creditors had to be paid first from the sale of the house before the children got anything. And it went through a process known as probate. So the obvious question was, what do the kids get? And the answer is, the kids or the beneficiaries get the residue, the leftovers, whatever's left, after everybody else has been paid. The immediate reaction from the Smiths was, this is not fair. Why should the beneficiaries have to wait? And the answer is probate. Nobody escapes probate, and you must go through probate before anybody else gets paid. Now, it was reinforced to the Smiths that if they couldn't afford to pay, then the person, when they ran out of money, would have to find somewhere else to go, if that was required. So their reaction was that they'd have to look for somewhere cheaper, because they couldn't afford £200 to £250 a week, and they didn't want the money taken out of their house. My name is Brian. I'm an estate planner, and I spend my time helping people to set up trusts in order to have their money and their houses being taken by local authorities to pay for nursing home fees. Now, if you live in Northern Ireland, then all I can say to you is our visits are free. Our home visits are free to people in Northern Ireland. To those outside Northern Ireland, we can correspond by email or by post. We also have a free phone number. If you want to use our free phone number, there's the number on the screen: 0800 0931 007. Some people still prefer the old-fashioned way of letters, so we say to them, that's all right, send a stamped addressed envelope for information and ask for a pack, and the pack will be sent to you. And here's my address. My address is Brian McHugh, Estate Planning NI, 42 Hollybrook Banner, Hightown Road, Newton Abbey, BT36 7XR. Send a stamped addressed envelope to that address, and I'll send you an information pack about estate planning. If you'd like to see me talk to you on other subjects, then you can go to my website www.nichewizard.co.uk. I will be running several of these videos so that you can subscribe to me or to Estate Planning NI on your YouTube, and we'll be able to talk to you. Now, if you're modern and you like to talk by email, then please email me, and you can email me at will_writer@hotmail.com. My name is Brian McHugh. I'm an estate planner, and I'm here to show you how weak a will is and how you can set up via estate planning a way of legally protecting your home and your possessions from being taken by the local authorities to pay for nursing home fees. We can make the days of houses being lost a thing of the past. Thank you very, very much for your time, and I hope I hear from you soon. All the very best.